Dobro Pasharovitz collectors. That's me attempting Russian to say welcome, but obviously I butchered that language. Okay, so we got another 1/400 scale airplane of the Ilyushin IL-96-300. So this seats around 260 people. I guess that's what they mean by the numbers, the last three numbers of many airline frame numbers, I guess. I don't even know what that stuff is called. In case you haven't picked up on it, I don't really know much about airplanes. I just like collecting small models. So this is a Aeroflot Russian Airlines registration. And this is an indication it is made by a company called Phoenix, which I believe is supposed to be the best brand from my experience in 1/400 scale airplanes. But I don't really frequent the forums anymore, so if you're an active collector of 1/400 scale airplanes, please let everyone else know who's the best nowadays. Is it these guys or NG Model or something? I have no idea. So please help everyone else out. Okay, well, it's quite interesting. It doesn't actually say Phoenix. No address, right? So most of these planes are not licensed, it seems. Okay. Oh, it does say Phoenix right there on the inside. So we have a vacuum form thing. I don't know if this is the way it came originally from Phoenix, but very often dealers will open these up and protect them from damage, and so it's possible maybe this foam is doing that, keeping the blister from scratching the thing up, and that's appreciated. I can appreciate that for sure. So reading Wikipedia, let's see, this is a wide-body jet airliner, of course, and it was introduced in 1992, obviously used by the Russians, but also Cubana Airlines runs this plane. And since 1992, 33 of these have been made. Alright, it's supposed to be a pretty modern airplane with a glass cockpit and hypercritical wings and all that stuff. Alright. So these are photos of this registration based on my internet search. It's really hard to focus, of course, between two different objects at different distances, but I'll try. I'll just hit the focus, try to get the angle correct there. And also I'm afraid of messing up the antennae. Alright, side view. Alright, seems good. Under view and a really cool front shot. No antenna there, I guess I can hold it like that. Alright, well, still trying to really figure out how to even review these things because they're so small and they very often have antennae jammed into them. Like there is that one, I think it's been bent down, maybe from shipping. So I'm going to just leave it up here and then let the suspension, boom, sit here. Alright. So as you can see, it's a nice metallic silver paint going on there. And then the striping of the red, white, and, well, the red, white, and blue there. I guess there's no white here, but it's definitely there. Seems alright. Yeah, look at this antenna. That is physically sticking out, but I think it's supposed to be more vertical than that. Or not. Maybe not. I don't know. Alright. Let's see if we can get closer in on this cockpit. All these 1/400s have painted on windows, which makes sense. The thing is tiny. So this is a toothpick here, right? So look how thin the panel line of this door is. These little details. Trying to zoom in on this if we can read that text. I just don't think my phone is capable of. There we go. I'm pretty sure that's legible text. It's just that I can't read Russian. So, oh, it says Sky Team. Alright, so some sort of alliance, I guess. Yeah, look at the little fine printing of the nose cone. And then all these little, I think these are those airspeed sensors and stuff. These little, wow, where's my dental pick? These things here, pitot tubes, I think they're called. And then you got the windows. You can see a little white frame around each window, and then the window itself is supposed to be gray, I guess. Some warning details on the door. You can see the fineness of this silver paint is really nice. And then the red brake is very good. Alright. Let's rotate that. Look at this fuselage here, hit focus. Okay, yeah. Very cool. There's the registration. The door back there. IL-96. So now let's see these engines. Alright. Nice printing around this circular engine. The red ring, the front silver ring. And I think I gotta get a flashlight to see into these turbofans. Alright, just cast it in there. No actual air passing through, unfortunately, on this one. Maybe it's just the way those engines look in real life. Some other airplanes, you'll actually have air passing through in like a photo etched metal fan blades, but not on this one. Okay, yeah, I can see. Let me reposition the camera. Just the narrowness of the cockpit glass compared to the fuselage, and that does look similar to that photograph I had up there earlier. I've since closed the photos out, they're too distracting. Alright, you can see how the wings are canted up there. Let's get this, maybe check this side out. Yeah, I guess it's pretty much a mirror image. Some indexes for the rear ailerons. Some sort of black printing there. Alright, well, so I guess maybe it just doesn't have much detail on the real plane. I know Phoenix is capable of doing a lot more than this, but they're going for realism. And I guess this plane just isn't very complex looking. Let me try to flip it over and we'll see what the bottom looks like. Do want to get that out of the way. If I drop it, I don't want it to fall on the edge of that thing. Well, actually, before I go to the bottom, make sure I'm holding it safely. So all this fine red printing on the wing. See? All these little dots. Maybe like no step insignia. Now I can start seeing those panel lines. Right? So very good. The leading edge is silver. You got the red there. Well, maybe a little overspray on that winglet there. Alright. So now, pleasantly, there's no antenna on the bottom of this thing. And pleasantly, they actually write the brand on the bottom. A lot of these models don't have the branding on there because they're going for realism. But it's really helpful for me to know who made this stuff. Right, and then you can see a peg hole there, so if you want to put it on a flight stand, you can. Now this landing gear is quite interesting. You know how it's got a central one here, and then the two side ones are fine. So that's an interesting design. I'm not sure if I've ever seen a commercial airline, commercial airplane do that. Okay, yeah, some panel line details on the bottom side. But I think in general the white paint has got to be laid on pretty thick here, and a lot of those details are lost because the lines are so thin. There is actually a texturing right there in the landing gear. That's interesting. And they do have landing gear doors there. You can see these hubs of the wheels. I think these are machined metal wheels. And for some reason, a lot of these actually have rolling tires, which I don't understand why. Like it's totally unnecessary. What I'm concerned about is the rubber eventually getting brittle and breaking. And like you're going to be forced to just buy some O-rings. But I don't think these are O-rings because they literally have a seam line in the middle of them. An O-ring wouldn't have such a thing. So these are kind of flattened tires, right? These are specifically molded for these models. They're not O-rings basically, but I hope they last. Fine details for the hatch door. I mean I guess the landing gear doors there. Some more little dots there and whole sorts of lights and dots. I don't know what else there. Okay, some little minor detail there. Yeah, the rear wing, or this tail fin here. Oop, that my fingerprints, I guess. Yeah, printed nice. All Tampa printing. There's none of this weird decal BS that I see in 1/64 scale cars. Everything is paint, as it should be, in my opinion. Decals have air pockets behind them. They look wrinkly. Alright, well, the predecessor of this thing was derived from is the IL-86. And who made this? JC Wings. This is an old model, so there's actually some paint rash going on here. And that's because it's made of diecast metal. So if you watch channels saying diecast things are good, they're wrong. I mean, this just doesn't look good, right? Diecast metal has some sort of weird reactions going inside of them. They basically fall apart, I think, a lot in many cases. So that's, I mean, this could be 20 years old, but still, I'd like it to last another 20 years. So, anyways, that's the predecessor. You can see the engines are less, narrower, smaller, less efficient, and no winglets or anything like that. So for Western comparison, here's our Boeing 787-9, and I believe this is not branded as a Phoenix, but when I bought this, I got the impression that everyone thought this was made by Phoenix, and so this is nice, for sure. Okay. Alright, so yeah, it's just basically a longer fuselage, but I would say the wings are generally the same in width at least. Okay. Let's get this old one out of here. And then we gotta compare it to the Big Daddy, the Airbus A380. And again, there's no branding on this, so I don't know who made this. You'll have to look it up. A 1/400 scale A380. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's Phoenix again, because it does look so nice. That's just a monster. Double-decker monster. But I don't think these are being made anymore. It's just, I guess it's I don't know, they're not as efficient as the smaller planes. It's a bit too fast, isn't it? Well, this is another fine airplane done by Phoenix. Very cool. Very happy that they did it. I do like this brand. It's just, I guess it doesn't have much details to it. There's only one antenna sticking out, which makes it nice to be able to touch. I would recommend that you wipe down your models. If not, I washed my hands before reviewing this, because I don't want to get any fingerprints permanently, staining that clear coat. Alright, well, that's it for today's 1/400 scale show. I think there's one more casting I have to get into my collection, the IL-18, which is an old prop plane. So we'll have to see if I can pick that up at a decent price. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at the next airport.